It's almost good day, ladies and gentlemen. Sanbonan. I'm going to just give you an overview of the Agro Processing Industrial Economic Hub. To compete effectively in the agro processing industry, it is necessary to link key activities such as access to land, farming, processing, and access to the market. Imagine all of these activities integrated in a single hub. This is the agenda of my presentation, though I'm going to try and some I'll do them faster. The market, summary, why invest, and of course, building together. Now, South Africa controls 80% of the processing market in the African continent. And the South African market itself is worth about 49 billion. And of course, the entire value chain of agriculture contributes about 12% of the GDP. Now, there's a potential in Africa driven by the economic power of the middle class. Of course, the trends in urbanization, there are fewer people practicing subsistence agriculture, and of course, a number of women are normally now working outside of the home, and of course, the need for convenience products as a result. And this has been presented earlier about the demand for food worldwide. Now, what are the trends? Of course, we need to be proximal to suppliers in terms of the agro-processing and, of course, the general agricultural market. And, of course, in what we want to do, we want to ensure that people see that what they're buying is supporting the local economies. And, of course, we want to reduce energy costs. This is, of course, a greenfield project. And then lastly, we said and of course, the industry we need to invest in technologies that are seen to be environmentally sustainable. Now, in what the hub intends to focus on, based in Zululand, we're looking at tomatoes, potatoes, meat, and herbal medicine. And of course, in the first phase, and that can then grow as later. But of course, we want to become a top-class producer in what we do, and of course, and a top exporter of processed South African traditional medicines and herb. Currently, in South Africa, a lot of the herbs that we do, we export raw for other countries to add value, and that's what we want to reverse. And of course, what is Zululand itself? What does it offer? It is a major producer of tomatoes, potatoes, a large number of cattle, and of course, it has a huge market, Mona market for medicinal plants. And it costs these farmers to send their produce to markets elsewhere. By vertically integrating the processing plant with these farmers, we'll save them huge transport and logistical costs, and would add value through the relevant R&D and incubation for SMEs. And of course, this is the value chain for the meat market. It's a massive market in South Africa. Many households consume red meat in particular. And there is a mix between the commercial farmers and the emerging farmers. And there's a push now to get the subsistence farmers changing their farming practices such that they are part of this. And of course, the processing players in the meat processing are not only serving the affluent, but also service the local markets in various ways. And so this is a huge market to get a slice of as much as we can. And of course, this is one of the unique offerings of this hub. Is the fact that we, in South Africa, 80% of our population tends to utilize traditional medicine for primary health care. And they have a spend of roughly about 150 Rand per week out of pocket. It's a huge potential to draw on. A lot of this is part of the informal economy, but there is a demand for high-value products, of course, and where manufacturers now, they're advertising, and of course, and we want to able to take a share of that global market of about, by next year, it's estimated to be about $115 billion US. And we do not only look at only just the medicines, but there's teas, medicinal teas, and vegetables and herbs that companies like Woolies and others are looking for their kinds of consumers. This will be, of course, because medicines are highly regulated, we have this high state-of-the-art R&D laboratory to ensure that there's compliance with SABS and the Medicines Control Council, whether it's the FDA and the other markets that you want to get into. So what are the components of this hub at this stage? Is that we have a meat processing, traditional medicine processing, and food in terms of tomatoes and potatoes. Of course, within that is the business advisory, incubation, R&D lab, and of course we want to attract the financial services to be part of this, and just the general administration offices of CFOs and people, HR and things. So we are looking at the state-of-the-art facilities to attract skilled personnel in manufacturing, R&D, and of course farming at the cutting edge. We're looking at an initial incremental phase to at least 2,200 jobs located in the various farms and of course within the processing plant. And of course, SMEs themselves will get support, as I said, with the incubator and other services that will be there. So where is this going to be? There are proposed sites at the moment where the municipalities, it's not necessarily a bidding, but they've made offers of land in the Agro-Processing municipality. There's 2 sites. And of course Upongolo and Ulundi, and you as a potential investor, you'll probably be part of deciding with the department of which site would be most ideally suitable for you. And of course, the idea for us is not necessarily to compete with the South Africans. We know that they love their brands. We're not looking at creating competition, but rather partnerships with companies like McCain and a range of things, and attracting the funders to come in and invest in this, and of course venture capitalists that we are looking for. So why would you invest? This is a sector that is prioritized in South Africa, nationally and provincially, and there's an investment-friendly legislation and incentives, and of course protection for that. We know if you have an IP, it's also highly protected in South Africa. The DTI, Trade and Industry, has also manufacturing competitiveness incentive program, and of course there's a tax allowance programs. And of course, land itself will be leased or donated by the municipality when those discussions have to take place. But the municipalities, in putting forth the land, they also say we have our own packages. They will market the project. They will develop projects around this, and they will mobilize the communities, the labor force, and of course, they will also put in their own investment around to make these projects in line with their council municipal policies. So we are here to talk to you. Let's work now. If you want to secure your place within this zone, you are welcome to talk to us. For those who are into property, talk us about land development options. Local businesses, SMEs, talk to us about services that you would require or your own contribution. And of course, we've heard about municipalities, but we're looking at all other players and the chambers to come in this. So, of course, we want to invite you to you've already heard about this, next year in February, to the Industrial Hubs Investment Forum. Thank you very much. Can take questions. Oh.
Just 5 minutes.
Okay. So I've done well. If there are any burning questions, we still have time. But my contact details are here, and of course from the department, Ms. Ngomalo's contact details are available.
That section, what was it, section that tax?
It's a section 12I. It's part of the it's part of the DTI incentives. I think the recent beneficiary was Nestle of that. Got a huge tax incentives here. These presentations you've heard, ladies and gentlemen, will be on the website. So if you will, they said in 24 hours you will have them here. Any question? If you have more, any burning one? But we're here, so you can still talk to us. I'm short, I know, but you can see me in the crowd. Thank you.